Okay, on 8.1, it's a report respecting skateboard park study. We have Councillor Jason Farr from the far side.
Thank you. I think this is just great stuff, and I have to commend the consultants. Are they here? Chris, through you, Chair? Well, they did a good job anyway. I read much of the report, not all of it, but and certainly with just on this, the 25th annual skate jam taking place at Beasley Park just this past weekend with hundreds and hundreds of athletes appearing and competing and winning prizes, and the great entertainment that is incorporated in this annual event where people come from all over. It's great timing. I can tell you I haven't been there. I was visited, I took pictures, I tweeted, I talked to old school Derek, who was there with myself and some friends at the first annual skate jam 25 years ago, that this is definitely embraced community athletic activity that keeps kids active and busy and useful and communicative, and play a role in the vibrancy of those communities. And I've rarely had any complaints with regard to skateboarding in general. I can only remember one really, Mr. Chair, and that was from Kathy Druitt, who was the, at the time, the chair of the executive director of the downtown BIA, didn't like skateboarding on sidewalks. Otherwise, my interactions with skaters and the sport itself has been nothing but positive. I think great stuff for communities. So I just have a few questions related to how we go forward in the budget process. What we have before us is an information report. What's required through you to Chris to get the, do we need the direction to bring this to the 2018 budget process?
Mr. Herskett.
Through the chair, I'm going to pass over to Cynthia Graham, who's the manager of Landscape Architectural Services, who also is in charge of the capital budget.
Welcome, Cynthia.
Hi, through the chair. In response to this report, as LAS has done in response to previous reports, including the outdoor facility study, we have taken a look at the study and put together a budget strategy to put forward as part of the 2018 budget. So it is my plan to put forward a budget sheet that looks at future costs for implementation of skateboard park features.
In a 10-year plan through you, Mr. Chair?
Yes, we're showing several blocks of implementation 10 years out.
In the report, it says you found some efficiencies. Where did you find the efficiencies to squeeze this, what I assume is now appearing here today and approved here today as a priority recreational use through you, Chair? Where did we find those efficiencies?
I'm going to let, through the chair, I'm going to let the study author talk about that.
Okay.
Sorry. Through the chair to the councillor. The efficiencies are through existing master plan processes that we can find efficiencies through. So if there's an existing asset that needs to be, for example, renovated, etc., if there are existing project efficiencies that we can evaluate a skateboard feature at that park, that's how we will align projects.
Right.
Taking advantage of existing contracts, etc.
Okay, through you, Chair. Cynthia, the Beasley, particularly historic Beasley Skateboard Park as part of Beasley Park, it's been around a long, long time. And I remember being a lifeguard or a soupy when it was a wading pool, a slash skateboard park when there wasn't water in it.
What year was that?
That was back in the 80s, Sam. Yeah, mid-80s. And yeah, I don't know what was more fun, swimming in what was a 3.5-foot wading pool, 3.5-foot deep wading pool, more of a pool, or skateboarding in it back in the day. But it was busy then, it's busy now. So that budget, we're redeveloping Beasley, the contract's out this summer, the project's out this summer. Just the skateboard park redevelopment alone, for that, what I assume is a community level skateboard park through you, Chair, not a skateboard local, but a community level park, is that right?
Through the chair to the councillor, that's correct.
What's the budget through you, Chair, for Beasley?
Through the chair, our estimate at this point for the redevelopment of the skateboard park is around $500,000.
So this is a example through you, Chair, of a
Through the chair to the councillor, Beasley has constraints which restricts the types of features and the type of scale that is physically able to be accommodated at that site. So, unfortunately, due to those constraints, it's not able to have some of those higher level features that you would see at a park that has the space to accommodate. However, through consultation, those features that have been included as part of the improvements have been vetted through the Hamilton Skateboard Assembly, and they've been very much involved in what they will see through the redevelopment.
Yeah, HSA, they've been at it for a quarter of a century or more, and the amenities, and actually work with people like Al Dore back in the day and others in little by little Tennessee Torpedo, and adding amenities in a real grassroots way. So it's awesome that we're actually formalizing it to the tune of $500,000, giving them what they've helped give us for so long in amenities that they themselves created. Their input was remarkable in what we're about to embark upon here this summer. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan. I wish I could skate. I can't. I have hard enough time on a bike. But it's very impressive. I think you'll agree, being an athlete yourself, Mr. Chair, it is undoubtedly a sport. The surveys, 91% were Hamiltonians, and a good 35% were females. It's really a great sport to see, like, almost an equal male-female participation rate, almost. It's more and more you see female skateboarders. They're members of the Hamilton Skateboard Assembly Executive, and it's just a sport that crosses all diversities, all boundaries, and one that I actually enjoy even watching out my office window here at City Hall on the informal skate park that is the west grounds of our forecourt. And even when the security guy comes out and tries to chase them away, and 10 minutes later they come back, and I'm highly entertained by the wonderful skill of these athletes, and very much supportive of even greater presence of whether large or small skateboard facilities, recreation facilities, where there are really no operating costs across this great city of ours. I hope we become the skateboard capital. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and great work from our staff. Really good report.
Thank you, Councillor Farr. What about a hoverboard? Councillor Partridge.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and a good report. And I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to comment. You know, recognizing that Waterdown is one of the more successful skate parks, and I will tell you, in all the years that I've been sitting around this table, very, very few complaints. But since we have improved Memorial Park with the addition of the ice loop, with the splash pad, with the walking path especially, there's far more adults in the park now, which is making that skate park even more successful. You know, there's young people of all ages that, we even have a little guy, Jack, he's just amazing. He's 6 years old and just absolutely dynamite. But they also have taken ownership of that park. And I think that's the big thing with young people, is for them to take ownership of that skate park. They clean up the garbage, they look after it, they hold each other accountable. There's still some that, you know, just they will be not picking up garbage, that kind of thing. But the parents are there as well. It's a safer environment. The lighting is good. I think that's really key. But I also think another one of the reasons that Waterdown is successful is because of the location of that skate park. It is at the front of the park. It is right on the road, right on the sidewalk, easily visible. Everybody can see what's going on. And, you know, I think that's really critical to keeping not only those who use the skate park, the various age groups, safe. The lighting is important. The parking lot's right there, and all the amenities are kind of built around it. But, you know, again, when July 1st weekend, now as part of RibFest, the young people there have a competition, a skateboard competition. They run it. They organize it. We meet with them a couple times a year in case they have questions. They get all the sponsors, they line up all the competitions, they do all the categories, they run it. And it's absolutely incredible where the skateboarders are coming from. We have them coming down from Barrie, from, you know, all over the place. So I'm very encouraged to see this, and I think that it's you know, something that wasn't hugely important, not, or, you know, that people were supportive of a few years back, but now the community, I think, is engaging this, and I'm very, very supportive, provided that they have those safety factors built in, that there's, you know, opportunity for adults to be involved. We have officers, police officers, and that's the other thing. They come out to Waterdown all the time. They skateboard. They come out and they're part of organizing that skate jam on July 1st with the young people. And it's really something to see them actually drop down in the bowl. And, you know, there's a great deal of respect and relationship that's being built there. And I think that's key between the police and between our young people. So good work on that. Thank you very much.
Councillor Partridge, we now have Councillor Jackson.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Speaking of great locations, I can tell you that even though I wanted desperately the mountain skateboard park to be in Mohawk Sports Park, where we have still have a little tube type of skateboard facility, which is functioning for that local area just fine for the number of participants that use it. But I wanted the larger one long before Councillor Skelly decided to run for municipal politics. I wanted it at Mohawk Sports Park, but we all decided after lots of public consultation to instead build it at what was to become a multi-use complex at Turner Park on Rymel Road. And speaking of location, and you'll appreciate this, Councillor Green, we put the skateboard park right next door to the police station. And I believe of all the parks and playgrounds and skateboard parks across the city, to my office's record, Director Chris Hurstek, it's the only one after 14 years that doesn't have a little touch of graffiti on it still. So, you know, location meant a lot. The young people use it. It's well used. It's in a multi-use park there. And as far as I was concerned, if I recall, it was about a $500,000 project back 14 years ago. State of the art at that time, I think was modeled after a Scarborough project. But anyways, I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, that that's the kind of model you want to use. And this is a really, I want to commend Sarah, this is a really terrific document moving forward now as a foundation of all the inventory you've captured here, Sarah. So congratulations, and Mr. Chairman, the director wanted to make a comment. Thank you.
Sure, Chris.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yeah, great work on the staff on this file. Can't commend them enough. And I think to Councillor Jackson's earlier point, the real success for this study was the engagement of the youth and the public consultation through the whole process. They really did provide a lot of input into this, and that's why we believe it will be very successful.
Thanks, Chris. And the other benefit, of course, with Turner, the young people told us back then, Mr. Chairman, was public access and public transportation, public transit that was available along Upper Wentworth, even coming from the lower city. They could grab a bus pass, a bus ticket, get up there, spend several hours, and then head back home as well. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. We have no further speakers. We have a motion. Farr? Sure. Seconded by Green. All in favor? Carried. Carried. Moving on, we have 8.2, respecting Hamilton. Whose voice was that? Farr? Seconded by Partridge. All in favor? Carried. 8.3, Skelly Jackson. All in favor? Carried. Adjournment. Farr Jackson. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, everybody. Great job, Sam.